see you at the top. I rise, been through a lot, and whether or not I climb, no one can stop my grind, 'cause I'm going.
All right, what's up, y'all? So I think I figured to cover a couple things on this little bit of the video. Figured I'd go into a little bit of clarity on the over mileage fee charge that they give you, because that seems to be something that was a hot button for everybody. To tell you the truth, it was kind of a hot button for me too when I first got it, but after talking with some more people on the owner-op side and reading my lease/owner-op contract, it's a little bit more I'm a little bit more understanding about it. You're still pretty much damned if you do and damned if you don't. So we're going to cover that, and then I'm also going to cover some frustrations for the start of this week. I've now picked up 2 trailers that were way overdue for their DOT inspection and their PM. So obviously drivers, and I know this is an issue everywhere, drivers don't really give a flying rat's ass. They're just passing it on to the next driver because it saves them time. Well, for me personally, especially on that DOT inspection, that is a huge violation. Ooh, excuse me, where I would get in trouble for it. So twice this week, the start of the week of this pay week, I have been sent to go pick up a trailer that needs a DOT inspection and has been overdue. So I'm just a little frustrated and a little pissed off. I'm really hoping this doesn't become a trend to where Swift keeps sending me to pick up these trailers that they clearly know need to be fixed. If they don't clearly know, then they need to update their system, because Swift does have a system to where it's supposed to alert them when these DOT inspections are needing to be done. Obviously, either the system's not working, or it's letting them know and they're just passing it on, just like the drivers are out here on the road. So just pre-trip always. This current trailer that I dropped off at this customer that I had to get the DOT inspection for last night had some tires I think needed to be replaced, but Swift being Swift refused to replace them and said that they are good, but they did approve for the DOT, so there's that. Basically nothing I can really do about that. But if you're going to come on with Swift, just know that you're probably going to run into some issues like I have, where you're going to pick up trailers that drivers have pushed it along to the next driver to deal with. That, or they haven't really gotten out to do their pre-trip and they literally hooked up to it, raised the landing gear, hooked their lines to it, and that's that. And they got back in the truck and they took off. Or they sat in their truck instead of actually pre-tripping their trailer. So, but I think that's pretty much everywhere. I don't think it's just a Swift thing. Every company I've been to, there's been those issues there. So that's a little bit of frustration for the start of this week. So that's about all I'm going to cover with that portion. I am going to go into a little bit more detail on the mileage overcharge. Like I said, previous video I made it very aware to everybody that Swift will charge you it's not even Swift, it's IEL, which if I may be wrong, so if somebody in corporate side or whatnot's watching my videos, correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe IEL is owned by Swift. They're just separate. It's kind of like how Schneider does theirs. It's Schneider and then Schneider Financial for SFI. So I think it's the same over here at Swift. It's Swift or Knight, because Knight did it too. When I was at Knight, they had a separate entity from the company that leased you the truck, even though that separate entity was owned by the company. So there's that mileage charge in the contract, and like I said, in the contract, and talking with other drivers and talking with the owner-op division people. In that contract, it does specifically say that, yes, you will be charged a over mileage fee if you go over 10,000 miles on the dispatch miles. So anything you're dispatched over 10,000 miles, you're going to get that 9 cents a mile charge. Now, to clarify that a little bit, because I personally, when I first saw that and whatnot, I was pissed. I was like, are you effing kidding me? I'm getting charged for actually running and actually doing my job, where I'm sure there's quite a few lazy owner ops or lazy drivers that don't want to run. So I was a little irritated. In that, and talking with other owner ops who run their ass off just like I do, and talking with the owner op people and rereading that contract a little bit, that charge only benefits Swift if you return the truck and you don't finish the lease. That charge, if you finish the lease and actually complete and try to buy out the truck, those charges on that excessive mileage goes towards your buy down on your truck, which is a huge advantage in my opinion. Now, if you're only in it to be in the truck just for a little while and then you're going to get rid of it, or you're going to be in it and then re-up another read it and go, hey, I'm just going to give you the truck back, I want a new lease with a new truck, then you're just pissing away money at that point. But then again, like I said in that video, I would rather pay for an over mileage charge for running my ass off than to being lazy and not running and not being able to really make my bills and make money on my personal side on top of the truck making money. That's just me personally. I would rather run as many miles as I can and pay that over mileage fee. Now, I know there's a lot of people in that previous video who were all against it, going, hey, this is bullshit. I agree with you. It is bullshit. But at the same time, if I actually go through the entire lease, and at the end of the lease, go the buy out the truck, the fee for the over mileage helps me, because they're going to use that fee to go towards the buy down of the truck and help me pay it off. It is literally an incentive, in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it, is an incentive to keep you in your lease and keep you on the truck without turning it in. Otherwise, you're just giving the company free money. And it's also the incentive to keep the value on the truck for them. That way, if you do return the truck, let's say you run your ass off and you run that truck into the ground, and at the end of the lease, you're like, oh, I don't want it, I'm going to move on to a different truck, or, oh, I don't want it, I'm moving on to a different company. Well, you just ran that truck down into the ground, where a company driver may or may not have ran that truck into the ground. So you're paying for the value of that truck. You're paying for the asset of the truck. And if you buy it off, it's in your favor. If you give it back, then it's obviously in the company favor. And it flat out says that in the contract, going, hey, if you pay this off, that a majority of all that money will go right into your payoff. If you don't, that's our money. You're giving us money to run the equipment. And that's how even if you went out and got a lease with a personal car, a lot of these leases are the exact same way. They give you a set mileage that you can run during that lease. If you go over that mileage, they're charging you a fee. And that's even on a personal vehicle. So if you went out and got a lease on a Dodge Ram pickup truck, or you went out and got a lease on a Mercedes-Benz, or whatever car you wanted to get a lease on, and you went over the set mileage for that lease, they're going to charge you a fee for it. So you're going to have a fee no matter what. So that's a little bit more clarity on that. I don't know if that really helps people. I know for me, it personally made me calm down a little bit, because I plan on to either I'm going to fully go through with this truck and I'm going to pay it off at the end, or I may just decide to be like, hey, I want to go on a dedicated contract. And unfortunately, with those dedicated contracts with a brand new truck like I have, or a newer truck that Swift offers, you can't really go on the dedicated contracts like Walmart and stuff like that, because you are getting paid less money. Not all the dedicated are like that, so don't mix up my words. Not every dedicated account is like that. There are quite a few that pay really good money and have really good miles. So Fly Rabbit's actually on one of them. So, and he talks about that account all the time. So go check out his videos, everything else, and whatnot. So that's just a little clarity that I found out on the over mileage fee charge. And then a little bit of frustration for the start of my week here with these trailers. The trailer issue, you're going to run into that all the time. It doesn't matter what company you're with. With RTI, when I was leasing an RTI, I ran into that issue all the time. When I was with Wilson, I ran into that issue all the time. When I was with Night Transportation, I ran into that issue all the time. It doesn't matter what company you were with, you're going to run into issues with the trailer. Is it frustrating when you're a driver like me who actually wants to take care of the equipment and is actually going to report when something's wrong? Absolutely. It is very, very frustrating to have things pushed on, and you can clearly see that they've just continued to be pushed on. So, just try to be better. If you're going to be, even if you're going on as a company driver at any company, try to be better, guys. Come on. We're professionals. We're getting paid to do this job. Take care of your equipment, because you're not only trying to keep yourself safe and the people around you, but just imagine that your family's driving near a truck and the driver didn't do his pre-trip, and something goes wrong with the trailer and it hits your and they end up hurting your family. Or worst case scenario, an absolutely worst thing ever, it kills your family, just wipes out your family, because you didn't do a pre-trip, because you didn't report that something was wrong with the trailer that needed to be fixed. That's the way I look at it. I want to have equipment that I know is going to keep me safe and keep the people around me safe that I'm driving, but also I want equipment on the road for when my family's out on the road, when my kids are out in their cars on the road. So, yeah, that's it. Little short video here on this subject. I just figured I would touch up on that over mileage fee, because it seems to be a pretty hot topic. And there's quite a few of you that have made your opinion very much well known, and I appreciate you guys watching my videos and making your comments. You got to take everything day by day. I don't care if you think Swift's a bad company, or you think that it's bullshit that they are charging these over mileage fees. It's working for me. It's worked for many other drivers. You just got to figure out what works for you and go from there. So for right now, everything is working great for me. So, yeah, that's about it on this video. I am going to, like I said in my previous videos, I am going to put my referral information up. If you so choose, you want to use me as a referral when you're coming on with Swift, please put on your application my name and my driver code if where it asks. Also, reach out to Addison Johnson. He's out of the West Valley City. He's a recruiter out of there for the owner ops. Amazing guy. Even if you're wanting to come on as a company and you want to use me as a referral, go ahead and do so. I will make money off of these referrals. I don't know how much it is for a company guy. I remember being told, but I can't remember. I know for a referring an owner op, it's like $1,500. If you reach out to me and you want a part of that, just reach out to me through my through the email for Evans Trans. And we will set up something. I'm not going to put my personal number out here on YouTube. I'm sorry. Just not going to happen. So, yeah. If you want to use me, use me. If you don't, I don't care. I'm not here to get referrals. I'm not here to push them. But I am going to put my information out there. So, and put a great guy, recruiter, Addison, his info on there too. So, and that's Addison is an owner op recruiter. He's not a company. So I'm sure even if you want to go company, if you want to call him, I'm sure he might be able to direct you to a company recruiter. So that's that for this video. Yeah, just stay tuned to the next one on this journey of mine here at Swift. All right, guys. Bye.
If I ever find one of these lying around again, I swear to fucking God, I will stop being so polite. Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.